Alright there, YouTube. Welcome back to the channel. Another video on Old Red, our Project 1983 Peterbilt 359. We got a ton of parts in for this truck here this week. And you got fenders, you got fender brackets, you got stacks, all kinds of good stuff here. Speaking of which, I think this would be a good time to mention those of you guys that like to comment about my shop being messy. Let's realize something here. This is a very small shop for what I do. Just pulling this truck in the shop here takes up about a third of my total square footage in this shop. So this is a very small shop for what I do. Because of that, I gotta have tools, I gotta have parts on hand, I gotta have things in the shop. I don't have another place to put them. The shop's gonna be cluttered. It's just the way it is. So basically, unless you're offering to do something about it, just keep it to yourself. That's all there is to it. Overall, I really appreciate all the good comments you guys leave me. I really enjoy reading the comments, but come on, guys. Really? But anyway, I put up a poll on YouTube there. What you guys wanted to see next out of the parts that we got available here right now today. And you guys wanted to see the stacks, so let's get started on putting some stacks on this thing. I ordered the stack kit from Randy's. They seem to have the best pricing with free shipping and stuff that I can find. And we ordered the whole 9 yards on this kit. White pipe, stainless steel flex pipe, all that good stuff. And if I can, I'm going to try to pull off on putting the white pipe in. I still need to put a new transmission in this truck. I've got another transmission to put in this truck. And the white pipe's going to be in the way for that. So if we can put this together with the old white pipe in place for now, and then put the new one in after we do that, that would be ideal. Stainless steel flex plate. That's what all these are. Alright, so I kind of got this laid out here just to kind of figure out how this all goes together. The bottom elbow slides into your center spool section. Center spool section slides into your top section. So that's not so bad. Got our cab brackets on. Then here's our clamps. Only little problem is somehow they forgot to... When you look at this drawing here, it shows that there's supposed to be 8 rubber bushings here per side in between the clamp and, or in between your bracket and your clamp. And clearly, well, if it'll focus, you can clearly, there you go. You can clearly see them in the drawing here, and they're not in any of the boxes. So went ahead and I called Randy's there, and they're getting Dynaflex to send me out a new set here right away, and hopefully we'll have those here soon. I still want to get these on here today. So here's kind of what I'm thinking. Just take some nuts here, set them on here to simulate the space of the bushing. So I can go ahead and put these stacks on here today, and then I should just be able to take these bolts out one at a time and slide the nuts out and the bushings back in when they get here. So I think next thing is just to go ahead and get these clamps here loosely in place. Alright. Yellow. Alright, thank you very much. Yep, you too, thanks. All right. I don't like that. Okay. Time to dig the ladder out. So, I believe these were the 44-inch top pieces that I ordered, and I measure out to 11 foot 10 inches, which is just perfect for my 12-foot door. Would have liked to have been able to go a little bit taller, but not being able to fit in my shop, I don't know if that would be worth it or not. I actually expected these to be just a little bit too long. I thought I was going to have to cut an inch or two off of them, but 11 foot 10 inches, I'm happy with that. Alright, so I went ahead and pulled the factory way pipe out from underneath the truck because it was kind of in the way. You got the driver's side brackets on the truck here, and I think we're going to start getting the driver's side stacks on here. So you'll notice there's a little bit of a step in the pipe here. You're going to want to get that in the middle of this clamp, and then that's where that's going to sit. So then the straight side of this pipe that doesn't have the step in it goes on top of there. Alright, so we got both stacks on here now. everything's more or less hooked up. Got the exhaust hooked up. If this muffler that was under the cab is any indication of how the old stuff come apart, I think you'll get the idea on that. I don't have any of the clamps on any of the Y pipes or anything under here, mostly because that's going to come back out for a minute here very soon when I swap out this transmission, put a clutch and a rear main seal in it. Now my plan was to pull this out and take it for a quick test run down the road, see how this sounds. Unfortunately, I think we're just going to have to do that another day for a couple of reasons. For one, it snowed a little bit out and all the roads are all wet and sloppy. I really don't want to drive this truck down wet, sloppy roads at the moment, so I'm going to hold off on it for that reason. Also because I'm waiting on the proper bushings for this, so I don't have everything torqued down like it should be. It's just snugged up so that it's fit, because I expect that things are going to move around a little bit and need to be adjusted once I get the proper bushings in there. So I don't want to drive it for that reason. Plus, with the rest of the exhaust just being kind of slip fit into place and not clamped, I'd be upset if some exhaust pieces fell off on a little test drive just to hear what it sounds like going through the gears. But I'm going to go ahead and pull it outside so we can get a good look at it, or at least hear it at idle, maybe rev it up a little bit. I also did figure out the reason why the Jake brake wasn't working last time I took this on a test drive. Really something kind of stupid. This hand throttle was just pulled out just about like that. It just wasn't quite fully all the way in. Wasn't enough to affect the idle, but it was enough to trip the switch on the injection pump. So real simple deal there. Jake brake's fine, everything's working. So anyway, I think let's go ahead and fire this thing up, pull it outside, and at least get a good look at it, right? You know, another thing here too, when I measured the stacks at 11 foot 10 inches, that was with the suspension down. With it up, it is very close. I did pull this thing out here yesterday evening, and with the suspension up, it just barely clears the weather strip on the door. So I'm going to try to get in the habit of just dumping the suspension. It will go through with the suspension up, but it is so close that if you were to bump the clutch a little bit or something, it would probably hit. So I'm going to try to get in the habit of dumping the suspension every time I pull this thing through the door. And hopefully I don't ever forget and accidentally hit the door, but it'll go through. But like I said, if you were to bump the clutch a little hard or something and it rears up, I bet you it would catch that weather strip on the door. So we're going to go ahead and do that first. Alright, now let's fire it up. Got a little bit of temperature in it here now. I got a GoPro stuck to the grill here, and I guess we're just gonna lot drive it here for a second and at least get through a couple gears so we can hear it. Hopefully it's pretty breezy out. Hopefully the wind doesn't mess with the audio too much. But anyway, let's get to it.
a bird dog on. Speed trap up ahead in Selma town. Ain't no local yokel gonna shut me down. Me and the boys got this rig around, and we come 1,000 miles from a guitar town.